Welcome back. Now what we need to do is work on the windows for the front of the house. We can see that we have quite a number of windows here in the front, and it's going to be a little bit different simply because of the structure of the front is a lot different than the back. The back was pretty simple. We just had this big square area where we had to punch in some windows. This is going to be a little bit more interesting because we have these windows here in the front entrance that are above the door, and we have these windows here which are different sizes. And then we have these windows here, which on the outside looks like a very simple wall with 3 windows. But then when we look on the inside, we have the staircase down here, and we're going to have to address that. So we're going to change up our technique a little bit, but it's going to be the same basic overall technique that we've been using so far for the back wall windows back there. Okay, so I'm going to move a little bit quicker here now that you have got to see the way that I did the back windows. I don't have to go as slow as before. So let's move along here. Okay, let me go to the inside here. I'm going to start with the staircase. That's probably going to be out of these 3 sections of windows. The staircase windows are probably going to be the toughest to do. Or I really don't want to say toughest to do, but probably the most interesting to do here. So I'm going to come on the inside wall over here, and we can see we have this edge sort of dividing this in the middle. That's no good. I don't want that edge there. So I'm going to hit Control and Backspace to get rid of that. So now I have just one 4-sided polygon, this rectangle back here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to select this edge right there and this edge right there on the ends of the polygon there. And I'm going to go ahead and use my Connect tool. I'm going to go to the options. I'm going to connect this twice and hit OK. I really don't care about the pinch parameter. I'm going to take the new polygon that's been created there. I'm going to go to the scale tool and scale this up. And that's just to be able to quickly move those edges to the really high, move the top edge really high up, and move the bottom edge pretty low, just for now. Okay? And then over here, let me get rid of this blueprint here. This blueprint and that blueprint are kind of getting in my way, so I'm going to hide those selections. Okay, let me go back here and continue working on the outside wall over here. Alright, so we can see we have 3 window panels, okay? So we know that we're going to need a segment horizontally for the top and one for the bottom right there. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's go to Edge Mode, select these 2 edges for the wall. Let's go to the Connect options. We're going to make 2 segments basically, hit OK. Let's take the first one and let's move it close to the bottom panel of the windows. Let's take the top one and move it close to the top panel of the windows right there. Now let's take both of these edges that we just created, the top one and the bottom one, and let's go ahead and let's go to the quad menu and open up the Connect options again. And since we have 3 windows and we need 2 segments per window, 2 times 3 is 6, so we know that we need 6 segments. Hit OK. Alright, now it's the same exact principle as before. We're going to go to Vertex Mode, and we're going to start taking these vertices and snapping them to our window panels there from our blueprints. This is why it's very important to have blueprints. They come in very, very useful. So let's just snap this stuff right there, which is actually very quick and easy to do. No big deal. There we go. Just takes a few seconds and we're done with that. Okay. Now what I'm going to do here is, as you can see, if I try to take these polygons here from this wall, which is basically what I did on the back wall. On the back wall, what I did was basically select all these polygons and basically come in here and make a duplicate of them like this, and I flip the normals. That's not going to work here. As you can see, it's going to create a problem simply because this wall is actually a lot different than the back wall over there. So let me delete those polygons that I just created. Okay, so what I need to do is I need to change things up. First of all, I'm going to come on the inside wall here. Remember I made this polygon here, this panel? I'm going to delete that polygon. Basically what I was doing there, I was setting up an open area to be able to attach a copy of the outside wall on the inside. Okay, so if that doesn't make any sense to you, let me go ahead and actually do it and demonstrate, and it's going to make a lot of sense when you see it visually instead of me trying to explain this. Okay. Sometimes a good demonstration is in order to get an idea across. Okay, what I'm going to do here is I want to make a connection, an edge, from this vertex that's over here to this vertex that's over here on the right. How do I do that? Well, it's pretty easy. We can do this in vertex mode. You don't have to, but I'm going to go ahead and do it. And in vertex mode, open up the quad menu, and then right here you should see a tool called Cut. Select that tool, and then what we're going to do is take the Cut tool, and we're going to cut right here, and then we're going to cut over here on the vertex. And you notice when I hover the tool over a vertex, the cursor changes. That's to let you know that you're doing this correctly and you're about to make a cut on a vertex, which is exactly what you want to do. You don't want to make a cut on the edge up here, because then you're going to end up with extra geometry there, and you don't want that. So after you connect that there, hit the right mouse button to end that, but just hit the right mouse button once. That way we can continue using the tool, because we want to make a cut down here from that vertex on the left to that vertex on the right. Okay, now hit the right mouse button twice to get out of the cut tool. Okay, so now we have these polygons here. So instead of taking the entire wall from top to bottom down here, okay, and everything in between, what I'm going to do is basically just take this right here. Let me go to modify selection and grow that selection once and select these polygons. So now that I made those cuts, I've basically isolated this kind of window frame area here, kind of like a cookie cutter, so to speak. So I basically take these windows and I isolated them to basically this set of polygons. And now what I can do is I can use the move tool, hold down shift to clone this. Make sure you do it to an element. Element's just fine. Hit OK. And go to the quad menu and flip the normals so it's facing to the inside. Then I'm going to go to edge mode, and I'm going to come in here and select this edge down here, which is one of the edges on the inside of the wall. And I'm going to open up the transform typing tool, F12 on the keyboard to do that, and I'm going to steal its X transform. Just copy it there. I'm going to borrow it, not steal it. I'm going to go back to polygon mode. I should still have these polygons selected. And I'm going to go to the move mode, or move tool, and paste that X transform right there. Perfect. Okay, so now it's perfectly placed and positioned on the inside. These windows are almost ready to go. Last thing I need to do is fill in these holes, because as you can see I have a hole up here and I have a hole down there, but that's very easy to fix. We'll go to edge mode, go to the quad menu, and let's go to the target weld tool. Okay, let's take the top edge of the inside and target weld it to the windows that we just brought in. Okay, I'll do that at the bottom as well, and there we go. Perfect. So now the outside wall and the inside wall have the exact same geometry for a nice, easy window creation. Now is the easiest part. We take all three window panels on the outside and all three window panels on the inside, and you can hit Alt and X to activate the see-through mode to make it very easy to be able to confirm this visually. Make sure you have the correct polygon selected and you don't have some other polygons accidentally selected, because we're going to go up to the graphite modeling tools, go to the geometry window, and basically we're going to go ahead and, we're going to go to the polygons menu and hit bridge. Okay, there we go. I'm going to exit see-through mode, and there we go. We have a perfect window right there. So now I'm going to do the rest of the windows here, and for the rest of them, it's going to be very, very easy. So let me do these over here on this side. So I'm just going to go through this pretty quickly now that you have the idea. It's going to be very quick and very easy. Go to connect options. I know that I need a segment for top, bottom, so I need 4. I'll hit OK. I'm going to take these edges and get them as close as possible right there to the... Actually, it looks like I actually created more than 4 segments there. Did I? Yep. Looks like I created an extra segment that I didn't need. But that's okay. I'll just take it, control backspace, that gets rid of it, and problem solved. Now I'm going to take this top edge, I'm going to take that edge, and that edge right there. I'm going to connect those, go to the options. Now I know that I need, I have 3 windows, so it's the same deal as this window over here. I'm going to need 6 segments. So I'll select 6. I'll scan this very quickly with my eyes and see if I made any extra segments I didn't need. No, looks good. Okay, so now I'll go to vertex mode, activate the snaps, and there we go. I'll just go to town with this and very quickly just snap this stuff in place. So it's very easy, very quick to do. Once you have some good techniques and good tricks up your sleeve, whenever you run into situations where normally it appears at first glance to be a real challenge and you're looking at something, you're thinking, wow, how in the world am I going to model that? That's going to be pretty complicated to mimic something in real life in 3ds Max when I'm modeling. But as long as you stay creative, think outside the box, keep your mind nice and loose, and don't stress yourself out too much, you can very quickly and easily come up with solutions to, well, problems like this. Let me go to edge mode. I'm going to select these edges here that are on the outside. I'm going to delete those, control and backspace to get rid of them, and there we go. Okay, so same deal. I'll go to vertex mode. I'll use the cut tool. And I want to make a cut from that vertex there to that vertex there. Right click once, come down here, make a cut from that vertex to that vertex. Right click, and okay, that's pretty much going to do it for this inside part, or the outside part I should say. Now the inside part, I'll just go to edge mode, select these two edges, go to connect, make just two segments just like I did before, hit OK. I'll select that polygon, scale it up like this, okay, delete the polygon, same deal as before. I'm going to select that middle polygon right there, go to modify selection. I'm going to grow that a couple of times. Then I'm going to select those polygons. So now I have these polygons selected, which is perfect. I'm going to hold down shift, and I made a mistake here. I should turn off snaps when I do that. Okay, make sure you clone it to element. Go to the quad menu, flip the normal so it's facing the inside, go to edge mode. I'm going to take this top edge here, activate the transform typing tool and steal its X coordinate. Go back to polygon mode. These polygons should be selected. Go to the X coordinate and transform typing tool. Paste the X coordinate that I stole before. And hang on, there's what did I do here? Let me take this edge right here, take that X coordinate and copy it, go back in here and paste it. Yeah, I kind of went too fast there, I guess, for myself or something, and just kind of, I think I copied the wrong number, not sure. Okay, so I'm going to go to edge mode here, and same deal. We're going to go to target weld in edge mode, target weld that to that, go down here, target weld the bottom edge to the top, and boom, there we go, we're done. All we need to do now is the easy and fun part, which is to take the panels here for the windows on the outside, take the panels for the windows on the inside, go up the polygons, bridge, and boom, there's our instant windows. Beautiful. Okay, so now, last but not least, we're going to do these two large window panels here that are at the main entrance above the door. Okay, so I'm going to go back to edge mode, select this edge here on the outside and that edge. Now this is going to be a little bit interesting because this isn't your normal wall. This wall actually has an opening here where the door is. Now, let me actually do something. Let me take this door and I'm going to, I'll make it maybe see-through. No, I'm just going to hide it. So there's the hole there that we punched in earlier into this front entrance wall. And I'm just pointing that out because it's not your standard polygon shape and it might end up causing some problems. Maybe, maybe not. We're about to find out. Okay, so let's take these two edges right there. Let's go to connect, options. We're going to connect that twice, and there we go. That's what I was talking about. You see how it created a problem here? Well, that's just because the pinch parameter is set to 58. So let me lower the pinch. You see, the bottom edge, once it gets into this open hole area, everything just starts to go haywire. It hits the fan, and that's not good. So I'm going to lower my pinch setting here until that edge is no longer making contact with this open hole right there. That is a big no-no. Okay, so I'm going to hit OK right there. I'm going to take the top edge and move it closer to the top of the windows. The bottom edge is, well, it's perfectly fine where it is. I'm going to take the top and bottom edges that I just created, go back to the connect options. Since I have 2 windows, I'm going to need 4 segments. So I'll hit OK. Alright. And there we go. Now, same deal as before. Go to vertex mode, activate snaps, and start snapping this to our window blueprint. Very easy, right? Not a big deal. Very simple. Just more of the same. Okay, now that I have that snapped right there, what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect this vertex here to that vertex there. Same deal as before. So I'm going to use the cut tool, connect that to that there. Uh-oh, what happened? Okay, we ended up with a little bit of a buggy situation here. You notice I was cutting right here from this vertex to that one, and instead 3ds Max threw my cut on this completely unrelated polygon over here on the left. So I'll hit Control Z, and I'm going to assume that I don't know what happened, and I'm going to come over here and try to do my cut again. Uh-oh, happened again. Okay, maybe 3ds Max is acting a little bit buggy, so this time I'll start from the right and work my way to the left. Uh-oh, it did the same thing but on the opposite side. So what's going on? Okay, I'm not sure what's going on. Honestly, I'm not a software engineer, so I couldn't tell you the intricacies of what in the world's going on under the hood here with 3ds Max and why it's doing what it's doing. All I know is that it's wrong and I need to get around this. So if I can't make a cut between these 2 vertices, and I need to be able to move on to the next step, if I can't make a cut, then what am I to do? Well, these kind of situations happen in 3D all the time. Doesn't matter what 3D application you use, no software in the world is perfect. All of them are going to have some kind of bug, and in this case, we found one. So, how can we fix this problem? We have to find a way around it. So how can we make a cut right there without having to use the cut tool? Well, all we have to do is kind of improvise. Let's go ahead and take this edge here and that edge there. Let's go to connect and see if we can make a connection there using 1 segment. And yes, we can. That is not bugged out. So if you want to, you can think of it this way. Say you left your house and you come back home and you realize that you left your keys in the house and you locked yourself out for whatever reason. It happens, I guess. And you can't get in through the front door. Well, you've got to improvise. Maybe go around the back and try to go in the back door. Or maybe try to see if you left the window open and go in through a window. Or maybe you have to lockpick your own door to get back in your house. Okay? That's essentially what we're doing here. One tool didn't work, so we have to find another tool to get around it. So I'll go to vertex mode. I'll go to the quad menu and I'll go to target weld. I'm going to weld that vertex to that one to that one. So there we go. We have our connection there, which we were trying to make before, but we couldn't. So we went around 3ds Max's bug and we found an alternate way to do the same exact thing. And that's what I was talking about when I mentioned in previous videos that there's 101 ways to do things. Well, there you go. Let me go and use the cut tool again. I'm going to try to make a cut down here in the lower part. And boom, same problem as before. Now, I don't know why the problem is happening, but I'm willing to bet it has something to do with the fact that this wall has this hole down here, this sort of U-shaped hole down there, okay? And for some reason, it doesn't like that, and it's just bugging out. No problem. Not a problem at all. I'm going to take these 2 edges, and I'm going to go to connect, and I'm going to try to slide this up. Take that pinch to 0. And as I try to slide, you'll notice that it's not moving up and down. It's just kind of rotating in place in a very strange, idiotic fashion. Okay? So in this case, I have a bug. And on top of that, the Connect Edges tool is not working how I want it to. It's going crazy too. So I have 2 things working against me here in 3ds Max that's making my job harder. Okay? Big deal. I have to find a third way around this, okay? If method number 1 doesn't work, method 2 doesn't work, we're going to have to try a third method. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to take this edge here, and that edge there, And I'm going to go ahead and go to the connect tool again. And I'm just going to connect that once. And what do you know? That worked just fine. So let me go to vertex mode. I'm going to use target weld. And I'm going to target weld that there. I'm going to target weld that there. Okay? So boom. Exactly what we were trying to do with the cut tool, we were able to do using basically a workaround. Thinking outside the box like this is extremely important in 3D. Why? Two main reasons. One, if you can't come up with solutions, you're pretty much stuck. And that could be a problem, especially if you have a deadline. And the second reason it's important to find solutions like this is because if you are stuck, you need to find solutions quickly and not waste time on bugs and problems like this. So I was able to solve the problem, within a few seconds, very easily, very quickly. Just took me less than a minute to get that done. Okay, so let's go on the inside here. I'm going to select the inside edges right there. And I'm going to use the connect tool. I'm going to do 2 segments. And I'm going to use the pinch. There we go. Hit OK. I'm going to take the top edge. Oop. Make sure you take snaps off. I always forget to take that off. And there we go. Just keep those edges up, really high up and really low down here, just to get them out of the way. Take the inside polygon here. Delete it because we're not going to need it. Take this polygon. Go to modify selection. Grow it one time. Select that polygon on the end. That polygon on the end. There we go. That's basically our windows right there. And I'm going to hold down Shift, clone that out. Make sure you have element selected, just like before. Flip the normals, go to edge mode, select this edge. Let's take its X coordinates, go back to polygon mode, and paste those coordinates right there. Now let's go back to edge mode. Let's use the target weld tool. Target weld the top to the bottom there. And down here, we're going to target weld the bottom to the top. And that's what we end up with. Now let's take these polygons on the inside as well as the outside. Let's go up to polygons in the graphite modeling tools, hit bridge, and there we go. Boom. Instant windows. Beautiful. So now we have our windows in the front done, and they're good to go. Okay, so that took long enough. I'm going to end this video here, and in the next video, we're going to look at how we can create window frames and actual windows themselves for our house here using 3ds Max.